This video covers the preparations for lockout, a critical safety procedure. The first step is notification. All affected personnel, including machine operators and technicians, must be notified by the authorized employee or supervisor before commencing any lockout work. Next is identification. Identify all disconnect points under the same inventory number range as the equipment needing to be locked out. For example, line 400 to 670 for line 400 Delta machine number 3. Some assets have multiple locking points. Follow the lockout placard and label to ensure the equipment is properly de-energized. Acquire the protective hardware. Each maintenance shop has lockout boards with specific locks and appliances. Extra locks are available and must be signed in and out.
Now, the application of lockout. Always perform a machine stop before locking out disconnects. Be aware that the machine may have multiple primary and stored energy sources, such as electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, gas, water, steam, chemical, kinetic, etc. Lock it out and release the stored energy. Also, the equipment may have multiple stored energy sources, including motion, gravity, spring, extreme heat or cold, trapped pressure, capacitor, etc. The energy must be released. If the primary machine has associate machinery, you must also check these machines.
First, use the stop button to bring the machine to a proper complete cycle stop. Then, bring each local disconnect to the OFF position and apply the company-issued locks and tags. Ensure all stored energy is released and secure any falling or moving parts. Finally, ensure the equipment remains locked and tagged at all times. Step 3 is verification of energy deactivation. After locking out, you must verify all energy sources are deactivated and stored energy is released. Perform a test of all start buttons and controls to confirm de-energization. Ensure all controls are returned to the off or neutral position. Once verified, you can proceed with the actual work. Warning: do not work on the machine unless you have had energy control and power lockout training and thoroughly understand all procedures. If you have any questions, contact your advisor, supervisor, or the safety department. Section 4 covers energy control interruption for testing. If lockout devices are temporarily removed to test or troubleshoot, the following steps, 4.1 to 4.4, must be performed in sequence. Step 4.1 is notification of personnel. All associated personnel must be notified of the intent to fully or partially re-energize the machine, equipment, or process. Ensure personnel are clear. Step 4.2 is the assessment of the machine, equipment, or process. When re-energizing, assess the maintenance work state to ensure the equipment is in a safe and ready state. Confirm components are intact, remove temporary de-energization devices, and clear tools and materials. Step 4.3 is approval to re-energize for testing. Once all personnel have approved and understand to stand clear, and all personal locks are removed, the equipment can be re-energized for testing. Clear the energy isolating devices of locks and tags, create a safety barrier, and then proceed with the test. Step 4.4, re-establishment of energy control, means that once testing is complete, lockout shall be reapplied. De-energize, relock, and tag the energy isolating device. Operate controls to verify isolation. Reapply any de-energizing device and allow the de-energized work to resume. Finally, removing a lockout. Once the work is completed, close all cabinets and reinstall guards. Verify the machine is operationally intact and clear all tools and equipment. Ensure all employees are clear and have been told the energy will be restored. To remove the lockout, remove the lockouts and tags, and energize the equipment. If there are multiple users, wait for all other personnel to remove their safety lock. Test or observe the machine for proper operation, then remove the safety barrier. If additional work is needed, reapply the LOCKOut procedure from Step 1. Section 6 covers special considerations. No changes or repairs requiring a shutdown can be made without permission from the operator or supervisor. The machine must be turned over to authorized repair crews before work begins. If multiple authorized employees work on the same equipment, each must attach their own lock.
No attempt is to be made by anyone to operate a control device to which a lock is attached or to defeat the purpose of the lockout devices. If an authorized employee is reassigned from an incomplete job that must remain locked out, they must notify their supervisor before removing their lock. The supervisor must then lock out the equipment or arrange for lockout before the employee removes their lock. When a job extends across shifts, The relieving authorized employee or supervisor must attach their lock before the employee going off shift removes theirs. If an employee leaves locks on a machine, piece of equipment, or process and cannot be found, the supervisor may have the locks removed only after following the lock removal procedure for an absent worker. When requested by operating personnel, maintenance personnel shall perform electrical disconnects. The authorized employees assigned to perform the work must go with the person making the disconnect to observe the disconnection. Once the disconnect has been accomplished, the authorized individual must attach his or her personal lock to the energy isolating device. When personnel are locking out electrical disconnects, a test, operation of start switches or push buttons, or approved form of load verification must be performed to ensure that the correct isolating device has been used. In no case is anyone to be assigned to remove another employee's lockout device, except for the supervisor specified in Item F. Locks for use under the lockout process must not be used for any purpose other than as specified in this procedure. A supervisor must lock out all machines, equipment, and processes when they are to be out of service for 8H or longer. Outside contractors must provide ECPL/lockout training proof and complete the TFF contractor orientation. Section 7 refers to group lockout, lockbox procedure. When more than one authorized employee is being protected by multiple energy isolating devices, each energy isolating device can itself be secured by a single lockout under the following conditions. Company-dedicated yellow safety locks must be used for securing the energy isolating devices.
Insert the keys for the dedicated yellow safety locks into the group lock box. Then, secure the box with your personal red safety lock and tag. Regarding the structure, a primary authorized employee is selected to coordinate the lockout. This person coordinates with equipment operators before and after work and performs the actual ECPL following the individual procedure using dedicated locks. Each authorized employee working under the isolation must be able to verify that hazardous energy has been isolated or de-energized. They then apply their personal lock and tag to the lockbox. Each individual should request verification of isolation in their presence at the time of lockout. When multiple groups are involved, a principal authorized employee represents each group and is responsible for worker accountability to the primary authorized employee. No one is allowed to sign on or off for another person or attach or remove another person's lock unless an approved lock removal procedure is met. The resources used for this video include the Hazardous Energy Control Policy and the equipment-specific LOTO training documents. Thank you for watching this video on equipment-specific ECPL training.